Alright, welcome back everybody. So I bought a few more things in March 2014. My last video got cut off a little bit. So let's continue on here and I'll wrap up here. Shouldn't take as long to cover the rest. So the next system I bought some games for was the Nintendo GameCube, and the first one I picked up was Chaos Field. This is a port of the 2D shooter, and I actually used to own this on the Japanese Dreamcast. There was a Japanese Dreamcast version of this that came first. Really not a great game, but I sold my Dreamcast version years ago when it still brought a decent price to get rid of it, and figured, if I can get it cheap on GameCube, I'll pick up another copy. So I have a Chaos Field for GameCube now. Next I got Chibi Robo, one of Nintendo's more obscure first-party games. Pretty neat actually so far. I'm actually enjoying playing this, and I think there's a DS version of this also, so I kind of want to pick that up. But yeah, Chibi Robo for GameCube, pretty cool find, complete. Next is another first-party Nintendo game, kind of another one that flew under the radar a little bit, is Custom Robo. And I know there were some more entries in this series that came out in Japan, but I believe this was the first one that came out in the US for the Custom Robo series, so that's kind of cool to pick that up. Next, and this was one that's really popular right now that I think I got a great price on, is Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. This is one that I think kind of went ignored whenever it came out first on the GameCube. Again, the series wasn't really as familiar to Americans, even though it's been around for years in Japan. But now people are realizing this is a pretty cool game, and GameCube collectors are going a little crazy over this one. So I got this for 25 bucks this month, which I think is a great price. The last one for GameCube, I'm probably just going to sell this one because I think this one seems to bring a decent price, but it's not really something I want to play, is Digimon World 4. So another entry in the Digimon World games. Whoopee. So next system I have is original Xbox. I only picked up one game for that system, but this one's kind of got an interesting story behind it because apparently the game was recalled, and that is the Guy game. And this game is notable because it features spring breakers answering trivia questions and showing their breasts if you do well. Problem with that is apparently one of the girls that was featured in the game was underage, so kind of caused a little bit of flack whenever her parents reported it, and they had to recall this game from the shelves. So I figure it's worth owning for the collection. Probably going to be a little tough to find in the future. It actually came out for PS2 as well, so you can find it on that system too, but yeah, the Guy game for Xbox. Next system I bought some games for was the US PS2, and this is something that I really didn't have a lot of US PS2 games until recently because I've always collected for the Japanese PS2. I have a lot of great games on that system that were exclusive to Japan. But I'm kind of getting caught up now with some of the US exclusive games and also games that are easier to play in English, or just maybe the US version's way easier to find than the Japanese version. So I got quite a stack here for PS2, so I'll walk you through those. First one of these was one I wasn't even familiar with. I'd never even seen this game before, didn't know anything about it, but it is Falling Stars. And this is an RPG apparently designed for girls. One of the features on the back of the game is that it allows you to customize your character's outfit with a large selection of clothes. How exciting. But yeah, Falling Stars for PS2. I think this one's going to be pretty tough to find in the future because I certainly am not very familiar with this one. Next we have Metal Slug Anthology, and this is great. This is a compilation of Metal Slug 1 through 6. And it also features Metal Slug X, which was a side story game after Metal Slug 2 that kind of enhanced some of the bugs with that game. This also came out on Wii, but the control on this on the PS2 is much better with the PS2 controller. So I'm actually pretty excited to pick this up because I had the Wii version for several years, but this one I think will be more fun to play. So Metal Slug Anthology. Next we have Sky Gunner, and the art series on this looks really cool. Or the art design, I'm sorry, looks really cool on this. I've actually heard some really good things about this game. It's another Atlas published game, but should be pretty good, Sky Gunner. Next I have a sealed copy of Mega Man X Collection, and this is another great compilation like the Metal Slug one. This one actually features Metal Slug X games from 1 through 6, and Metal Slug Battle and Chase, which has never been released in the US before. The eBay seller I picked this up from had a whole bunch of these, and he was selling them very cheap, so I'd recommend picking one of these up if you don't have it already. I know the GameCube version of this is actually pretty tough to find, but this is a great way to pick up all these Metal Slug X games, and I think yeah, you can get a great deal on this right now, so pretty cool. Metal Slug X collection. Next we have Sega Soccer Slam, which this game came out on GameCube and I believe Xbox as well. Just wanted to pick it up because it's Sega and you don't really see it too often on the PS2. Next is Samurai Western. So this I believe was a side story game from the Way of the Samurai games on PS2. I kind of liked the art style on the cover. It reminded me more of Rising Zan on PS1. Which is kind of a weird, kooky spaghetti western type game. So I'm hoping it's kind of more like that. Maybe it has a little bit of that sense of humor. So that should be kind of cool. Next we have Gradius 5. And as I said, I'm a big fan of shoot 'em up games. Never really have been a big fan of the Gradius games, but some of them are actually pretty decent. I've heard really good things about this one. So looking forward to giving this one a try. Next we have Trapped. T-R-A-P-T, great spelling. This actually flew under my radar until recently. I've been looking for this. This is one that is apparently a side story or maybe a sequel to the Tecmo's Deception games that came out on PS1. And those are actually kind of cool games. You set a bunch of crazy traps and you have to torture other people catching them in the traps. But yeah, really neat game that I don't think gets a whole lot of credit. Appears like it's kind of picking up interest now, so I didn't even know this came out for PS2. This was news to me until recently. But Trapped for PS2. Really looking forward to trying this out. Next I have Soccer America, which is actually developed by Taito, which I'm a big Taito fan, so I just had to have this for the collection on that purpose. But it's not really one you see too often on PS2, so I think it's kind of neat to have. So Soccer America International Cup. Next one is another quirky one by Natsume that I think a lot of people have written some pretty cool things about. It sounds like it's just kind of a really oddball game. Is Chulip, which apparently you have to go around kissing people to succeed in this game. Is a big part of the gameplay. But yeah, I think this was one that flew under the radar when it came out, but people have kind of warmed up to it over the last few years. Is Chulip. Next we have a game in the Ys series, or Ys, however you pronounce that. I usually say Ys. This one is Ys, the Ark of Napishtism, something like that, yeah. But actually looking at the graphics on the back here, it looks quite good. So yeah, I've kind of liked the Ys games over the years and never really got super into them, but this one looks like it's worth playing. Next we have Grandia Extreme. And I've played a few of the Grandia games. I wouldn't say I'm a super loyal fan. This one I just got because it was a good price, but yeah, I'll probably give it a shot, see how it is. Next we have Graffiti Kingdom, and this is a sequel to a game that came out on US PS2 called Magic Pengel. They were also released in Japan, and they are by Taito. The unique thing about these is it's kind of like Pokemon style battles, but you had to draw your monsters first. And your animations and your drawings would come to life in the game, and then you could battle your monsters with that. So don't see this very often at all. I think this is going to be one of the rarer games for PS2, but it's pretty neat pickup, Graffiti Kingdom. Next we have Mega Man X7, and I also picked up Mega Man X8 recently. I don't have it in the stack here. I figured, well, if I'm going to have the Mega Man X collection, I should go ahead and finish off the set and have X7 and X8. So more of kind of the same good Mega Man action games, but didn't have it, so Mega Man X7. Next we have Rogue Galaxy, which is a first-party Sony game, and I believe it's a RPG about pirates. So I don't know, I haven't tried it yet, but I was a big fan of the Skies Arcadia game, so I'm kind of hoping it's similar in theme to that, pirate RPG. Might be quite good. And finally for PS2, I picked up Ferrari F355 Challenge. This is a port of the arcade game that came out on Naomi, and I've also owned the Dreamcast version of this game for years and years. It's an incredibly detailed sim. It's not forgiving at all to beginners, But it's a great racing game, actually. If you put the time in on this, it's very fun. It looks like the PS2 version, since it came out a couple years later, has some nice enhancements. It talks about having some extra videos and photographs of Ferrari, maybe some stuff from the Ferrari factory and racetracks and things like that. So, kind of cool to have this. I don't see this real often on PS2 either. I think people really didn't care by the time this came out because the Dreamcast version had been out for several years at this point when this port came out. So, kind of neat to have this Ferrari F355 Challenge for PS2. So that is all the games I picked up this month. I did get a couple accessories I just wanted to show real quick. The first of these, I just never had one of these, is a GunCon 2 for PS2. And so probably next month I'll be picking up some of the light gun games that are compatible with this. But yeah, GunCon 2, got that cheap. And finally, I want to give some thanks to my friends Bob and Joe. They were able to help me broker a deal to get this accessory, which I've been wanting for several years. Is a Comsoft XRGB3, and it came complete with the original box and everything like that. This is a really great device. It's a upscaling unit that allows you to play your older systems using Japanese RGB cables. And those plug into the front here, and with a Japanese RGB cable you're able to upscale the image of your older gaming systems to work on a modern flat screen HD TV. So this actually outputs a great picture, gives you some options with scan lines and things like that you can do to make the display look like a old CRT monitor. But this is a great device. I'm very happy to add this to my collection because it's going to get me playing a lot of my older systems even more so now that I can put them on my big LCD TV. So very cool to get this in the collection. So it appears that is everything I picked up over the last month. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been buying so many games lately, I'll probably start doing these videos once a month, kind of showing off everything I got over the last month. But this covers what I picked up during the month of March 2014. So hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment the video, share it with friends, and I hope to do some more of these in the future. Thanks, guys.